Hello everybody and welcome back for some weekly VR news. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Now surprisingly, this week is fairly stacked when it comes to new VR game releases, which surprisingly covers a lot of unique genres, so we're not getting another basic first-person shooter or roguelite game. Additionally, it looks like data miners have unearthed major changes coming to the Meta Quest headset. Version 77 recently entered the public test channel, and it looks like a massive amount of new changes are hiding in the background. So we're going to jump into all of these topics today, and there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead. But let's start things off with the check-in, and that's what exactly have I been up to in the VR world. And if you guys have been following, I'm pretty much living in my headset lately. There's been so many good games back to back that I'm just can't get enough. It's crazy. PlayStation VR, PC, Quest, it's been a really solid month, and it looks like May is starting off the same with a bunch of titles releasing this week. Now, I'm currently playing through Surviving Mars, and I have access to all the other titles, but I want to know what you guys want to see. So let me know down in the comments what game you would like covered. I'm thinking since there's so many titles, I'm just going to do a recap video on Friday, spend about 3 minutes on each game, like the Vendetta Forever DLC, Final Fury, Surviving Mars, Midnight Walk, you name it. But if you guys want dedicated on one of those games, please let me know. I'm doing my best. I won't be able to cover them all. So it's either recap or like one game. So let me know in the comments. And that's about it, guys. Let's get into this because this is an exciting week. Now, first up, we have a new PlayStation VR 2 game that's already available and actually slipped by me last week. iRobot is easily one of the most unique titles I've seen in quite some time, featuring a blend of arcade-style gameplay, unique puzzles and platforming mechanics, and some truly psychedelic visuals. You're racing against an all-powerful, overseeing eye that has outlawed jumping, so basically every little hop you make requires some precise timing so you don't get caught. So when you combine those panic-inducing gameplay elements with the non-stop barrage of visual effects, this game will push you into stimulation overload mode. Now I'm intrigued and want to find a little time for this one. Now next up isn't exactly a new VR game, but we will see the release of Among Us 3D. This is a flat screen version of the already existing Among Us VR, and I'm mentioning it because it will feature crossplay with VR players. So if you're a fan of Among Us VR, get ready to see a nice increase in the online players. But jumping back to brand new VR games, we have Surviving Mars Pioneer. This is a spin-off of the flat strategy game Surviving Mars, but Pioneer plans to deliver gameplay mechanics much closer to Subnautica. So rather than trying to terraform a whole planet, you're just an individual on a mission of survival. Now Subnautica is pretty badass in VR, so I'm definitely intrigued to jump into this game. But I'm actually way more excited for the Midnight Walk. This adventure will have you journeying through an extra creepy world filled with monstrous creatures that are made even more unsettling by the fact that they've been animated in that old school claymation stop motion style. Now I get chills just watching the footage here. I can't wait to jump into this world, and it looks like it's filled with a lot of cool characters and an interesting storyline. Now normally this wouldn't be my go-to type of game, but after playing through and absolutely loving Ghost Town, I'm even more excited for this one. Now for the horror adverse, let's get back to hitting each other with Final Fury. The developers of Synth Riders are trying something absolutely new with a unique take on the fighting genre. You'll get to choose from a large array of different characters, all with unique special abilities, and then jump online and battle it out. Now I played a very early build of this game probably a year ago, and it was already showing a lot of promise, so I'm looking forward to getting back in and seeing how far the game has truly come. And speaking of getting back into games, the absolutely action-packed shooter Vendetta Forever is dropping a brand new DLC pack. Now I actually met up with the game's developer at GDC and already demoed these levels, which not only offer up a lot new variety in gameplay, as you'll be traveling to places like a submarine and a space station, but more importantly, it's bringing more of that awesome fast-paced action. Now, if you never tried Vendetta Forever, it was a sleeper hit similar to Superhot that unfortunately released right next to Batman and was overshadowed, similar to our next title, Walltown Wonders. Now, it wasn't competition that held back this absolutely stunning mixed reality experience, but merely the fact that it was really only available to Quest 3 owners. Well, developers Cyborn are resolving that and bringing this world-building sim to both PlayStation VR and PC VR. Now, this is mostly a cute casual experience, so it's definitely not for everybody, but I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm always impressed at how far this studio can push graphics on the Quest headset. Now, before we get into today's main topic, I just want to talk about some really cool mixed reality innovations that came from the developers of the game Lasertag that is still currently in early access and under development. But they showcased continuous mesh mapping of environments. So if you've played any mixed reality games, you would know that you have to do a room setup first. And you basically scan your entire room and say, that's a wall, that's a window, that's the floor, that's yada, yada. And it takes a couple minutes. And even worse, Meta has a tendency to forget these environments every once in a while. Or if you move to a new room, you got to do a new setup. It's a little frustrating. Well, now with continuous mesh mapping, one, you just turn it on and play. It will scan your room as you're going. And on top of that, if the room changes, like someone pushes furniture in the way or anything like that, it just automatically updates. So this is ideal, especially if you want to go to multiple different areas. You want to bring your headset somewhere and do like some type of gaming showcase. But it also has way more of an impact to that, because as they show in their demo, they're bouncing stuff off of every environment as the environment's changing. It is total kick-ass. Now, why Meta historically hasn't done this by default is because, one, it is going to suck up performance and your battery life like crazy. So they don't do this continual mesh mapping to save on battery life and performance, but having the option is huge, and you could see the benefits with your own eyes. And last up in today's news video, it looks like we have some major changes coming to the Quest operating system, and this will be for both form and function. The biggest change will be to the menu system and how it operates. They're streamlining a new navigator and universal menu system, so not only should it be much easier to traverse through different menus, but more importantly, we're getting new functionality. Now, the first major expectation is more control over our screens, the ability to anchor them or dock them in specific locations, have them kind of cling to us and move with us throughout the world, something we kind of see now, but just ultimately more control. Ideal for things like, hey, I want to make a virtual TV over there, or I want to have a little chat box that stays on my arm for when I'm streaming or something, so I could just do this and see it on my hand and see what the chat's up to. So obviously, little functionality that we've wanted for a long time, and it just makes the overall usability of the headset so much better. Now, there's also a new panel with quick controls, making it not only easier to traverse the OS, but also greatly enhancing multitasking capabilities. Now, there's also apparently some code in there for eye tracking and something called face enrollment, which would allow the headset to tell which user is currently playing and unlock your specific profile. Now, we obviously needed some updates to the Meta OS. Not only did it feel bloated, but cumbersome. Things are hard to find, it's hard to navigate. And all of this is their stepping stone to the all-day wearables that they want to design. They need to come up with a user interface that allows you to access everything you want quickly. If it's frustrating and slow, it's not going to catch on. So again, the gamers are acting like the beta testers for the mainstream, but I'm okay with that. I think a lot of these functions look really cool. I've been waiting for updates. I'm not the type of person who spends a lot of time just like going through my OS. I don't care about the background worlds and stuff like that. I really just want to get into my games, but we've seen so many changes to the operating system over the years that it's constantly frustrating. And we're like, why isn't this here? Or why'd they move that there? A universal menu that can quickly get you to whatever you're looking for, and just the ability to dock some screens is ideal. Like, that is a huge step up for me. So I can't wait to see this, use it in action, and obviously I'll be talking about it in the future. And that was today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate your support. It means so much to me. We're really close to 100,000. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, guys. I want to get there. It's an exciting time for me. And that was it. I'll see you guys on next time.